A new glitch was discovered in Mario Kart World today, and it has already been used to set world records. This glitch allows you to jump past the tires here that block you on Mario Bros. Circuit and just keep going. And yes, this is real. Before the glitch was discovered, Logan had the world record, but now it has been beaten by Optik and then by Kyle Wade. This is one of the craziest glitches I've ever seen in Mario Kart, and if this looks really simple to you, just wait until I explain to you how this works. First of all, they're not actually going through the tires. If you just download their time trial replay off the leaderboard and watch it, it will look like they're going through the tires. But in reality, they have somehow knocked over the tires before the race even begins and then just jumped over it. Because of course you can do that if the tires are spilled out onto the ground. How did they do this? It's absolutely insane, and we'll get to it soon. Before I can explain that to you, I have to explain how this shortcut is supposed to work. If you just try to drive into the tires, it will completely stop you. So how you're supposed to take this shortcut is by using a mushroom to get through. But it was discovered pretty early on that you actually can charge jump into one of the signs on the side, and this lets you jump over the tires. And this was used in the world record by Logan before the glitch was discovered. But then the world record was beaten with the glitch, and Optik was the very first person to do it, beating the world record by about a 20th of a second. But then soon after that, Kyle Wade, or SuperFX, was able to beat this world record by dropping it by another 1/3 of a second. And the crazy thing is, this record has potential to go down way more. It's just really tough to get a world record with this glitch. And so now I will explain to you exactly how this glitch works, and you'll see what I mean. What's up? It is real-time Shortcat. I'm gonna show you how to perform this glitch setup in real time because it's really obnoxious and time-consuming, and it's a bit confusing too, but you'll see how this works. Okay, so I'm knocked over the tires. Now I just need to complete the run. So it's about looking backwards there to make sure you've gotten a favorable tire knockover setup so that when you get the glitched run, where the tires are already knocked over, you know where they're going to be, and you know they're going to be in a position where it's easy for you to jump into the shortcut with a charge jump. See if I can get this edge trick here. Nice. There's one thing you can do that I can also do, but I can't do the rest of it. I am not world class at this track, but check this out. The tires are back, but Kyle Wade is just jumping through it. So yeah, usually the tires respawn after, I don't know how long, maybe like 10 seconds, but that's why this run doesn't count. This run is just part of the setup. This run cannot be world record because we're just doing this run for the tire setup, but we still have to complete the whole thing, okay? I'll just skip to the end here. Okay, I've completed the run. Now let's continue with the rest of the setup. You might say, oh, you spent 2 whole minutes doing that. That's such a long setup for just to be able to start your world record attempt. Well, you're wrong, because there's more. View replay. Okay, so this part doesn't always work. It's a bit inconsistent for me, but let's see if it works here. So we can see that I've knocked over the tires. Now I'm gonna find a spot to press L to skip back to the beginning of the lap. And that's usually like right at this incline of the rail. Let's take a look. Ooh, one tire has been knocked over. Okay. Maybe that wasn't quite so good. So I'm gonna try this again at a different spot. I need a good tire setup here. So maybe like right there. Yeah, more have been knocked over. Okay, so that's why you have to press L. You have to see if it's a good tire setup and see how the tires come back. All right, so now I know that it was right here where I pressed L. Oh, I didn't have to press L again. Sorry. It's right there where we are going to commence the glitch setup. Okay, so we figured out where to start setting up the glitch after doing all this stuff. It's already been over 3 minutes, but yeah, so right here, I'm gonna pause. Okay, next, this is the glitch setup. So I'm gonna get my second controller. You can't see it right now, but I have the right Joy-Con, the red one. It is been connected. Now, I'm gonna press home and then A very quickly, like home A, that quick. And the goal is so that when I quit out of this screen, my A press still gets registered in game so that it hits retry. So it's gonna be like this. All right, I hit A right after pressing home. Now, look at the bottom left. My Pro Controller is connected, but I'm going to disconnect it by pressing the sync button at the top of it. Just like that. Now the Joy-Con is connected. I'm going to re-enter the game using the Joy-Con and see how retry got hit. I didn't press A just now. I pressed it after pressing home earlier to exit the game. Okay, so now I reconnect the Pro Controller by pressing L and R. And as soon as this screen comes up, I can press A, but I'm not going to press A. I'm going to press home A, just like I did earlier. So home A, really quick. Now repeat. Just keep repeating this. Disconnect the controller by pressing sync and then come back in with the Joy-Con. This screen is back up. Reconnect and then home A, really quick. Disconnect. This looks really stupid and time consuming, but don't worry, we're getting there. We are advancing frames in the game. Don't worry. I really want to show you this in real time to show you just how ridiculous this setup is and how crazy it is that this even got discovered. So yeah, back into the game. We just keep doing this until it loads back into another time trial race. Okay, disconnect. I'm not a pro at this yet. I have not been doing this for hours yet, so I'm still going to be a little bit slow at this. Don't worry about it. It's going to take a while, but we're going to get there. Together. Okay, sync. And then A on the Joy-Con. Back in. Oh, here we go, here we go. Oh, finally. That's actually faster than usual. Okay, it doesn't always prompt me to reconnect, but here we go. Yes, the tires are knocked over, and now we get an actual time trial run. Let's see it. Just don't touch the tires or they despawn again and have to respawn. This is awesome! Okay, I don't know the new world record strats, so I'm just gonna do what I know. And we're gonna see if it shows up again on the next lap. Oh, I'm using Sting Bee. My stats aren't very good. Well, that's the only reason why I'm losing to Kyle Wade right now. That's the only reason, not these edge tricks. Oh, I've never raced this world record ghost before. This is so scary. Ah! If this just goes to show how much pressure you're dealing with when this comes up, look at this, look at this! I can now jump back in, just don't touch the tires. If you touch the tires, that set of tires can respawn. Because if you touch the tires at all, they despawn and respawn in at the way they normally are. And then this is the better line I was going for earlier. Oh, I messed up the charge jump. But it's fine, it's lap 3. It's fine if they respawn, but we'll see, like, at the end of the race, if they actually come back or not. Yeah, see, the tires have fully respawned because I touched all of them just there. That's why you gotta not touch them in the middle of your run. Okay, but, like, that's the glitch. Now, check this out. We got one attempt at a world record right there, and I'm going to hit retry. Get ready for this. We have to do the whole setup again. Alright, before we continue here, shoutouts to this Google Doc, which is where I learned how to do this. Glitch credits to Mio Blade, April Shade, King Green, Optik, SuperFX, which is Kyle Wade, Pluto, Demons, Zakwa, and Prince Porky. So many players involved in the discovery and implementation of this glitch. This is where I learned how to do it, and if more information comes out about it, I'm sure this document will get updated. So I will link this in the description. Are you thinking what I'm thinking? This is the most convoluted glitch setup ever! How do you discover any of this and realize that it somehow preserves the tires? I mean, to me, this is completely baffling, but if you're a person who understands more of the code for these games and understands how objects get loaded and how maybe they don't get loaded sometimes, then this glitch makes a lot more sense, because this is actually one of two glitches. Preserving the tires there is one glitch, but the other glitch with the whole controller reconnect and disconnecting, that's actually a separate thing. That one is called controller disconnection abuse. This was discovered earlier, but still very recently, and I was on vacation while this got discovered, so I never made a video about it, but Crop made a very good video about it, so you can go check that out. You can use it to go out of bounds pretty much anywhere you want, and you can do a lot of cool stuff on Rainbow Road. I'm not an expert on this, so let me know in the comments if I get anything wrong, but it seems to be like basically what this does is when the controller is not connected, it somehow tricks the game into not loading certain things. Or in the case of Mario Bros. Circuit, it, it just won't reload the tires into where they should be. It'll keep the old configuration from the replay. Now, there's probably a few things you're already thinking about, so let me address them now. Can this be used on other tracks? There are tires on other tracks, for example, on Wario Stadium. Unfortunately, as far as we know, it doesn't save time on Wario Stadium. What about other destructible objects that we want to get rid of, like boxes? What if we could go through boxes without a mushroom? Unfortunately, this doesn't seem to work on boxes. As of the time of making this video, we don't know if this glitch is going to be applicable for a time trial world record on any other track. But if you ever want to stay updated on whether or not a new thing has been discovered, you can go to Mario Kart World Records, or mkwrs.com/MKWorld, and scroll down to Glitch World Record History. Right now, there's only Mario Bros. Circuit because it is the only track that has a Glitch World Record, but in the future, there may be more. Or in the future, there may be less because Nintendo patches this out. Honestly, let's talk about that for a sec. In the latest Mario Kart games, there have been very few useful glitches in general. Or at least things that feel like a glitch. You know, like from Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Is a Kusan slide a glitch? Maybe, but it's something we can do all the time. It's just categorized as a technique. Who cares if it's a glitch or not? There was also the acceleration bug that made some world records unbeatable, so that doesn't really count because it makes you slower. But then there was also the music park pausing glitch that desyncs the music so you get a better cycle with these music notes that slam onto the ground and give you trick boosts. Unfortunately, I don't think a world record was ever set with that, but it almost happened. And then Nintendo patched it out, but they didn't fix the acceleration bug. Wow, amazing. So it's actually been a long time since we've seen a world record with a glitch in the latest Mario Kart game. And one that you could argue kind of breaks the spirit of time trials because, like, come on. That's not really the point, right? When we're trying to see who's the fastest on Mario Bros. Circuit, this is not the point. The point is not spending 5 minutes getting rid of the tires so you get one shot at the world record on a version of the track that you cannot even normally play on. Well, if Nintendo patches it, then yeah, we can't do this anymore. But even if we assume Nintendo never patches this, this is always up to the community of speedrunners. Because whether or not something was a glitch really just has to do with what do you think are the intentions of the developer, which has nothing to do with anything. The game is just the game. Typically in speedrunning, when a separate category gets made for something like a glitch, it's not always because it's a glitch that it gets put in a separate category. Usually it's because somehow getting a record in this way is different or not really the skills we value compared to getting world records in some other way. So they get put in different categories, which also can help with speedrunning because, you know, if you love Mario Bros. Circuit and you want to speedrun it, well, you don't want to spend most of your time doing this glitch, do you? And so that's just no fun. It would completely kill the whole category. However, when you go on the online leaderboard, the glitch records are still there. For now. Maybe Nintendo removes them, but they're still there for now. And that can be a bit of a problem for this track, especially for someone who doesn't know what they're seeing and they just load it up and they're like, oh, hey, you can go through the tires. Only to realize, no, you cannot go through those tires. You are watching a lie. And if Nintendo does not patch this out, at least for the near future, we will probably continue to see improvements to this record. And the reason is because just from taking a look at it, it seems like being able to directly jump over the tires instead of going for the sign on the side saves about 0.2 seconds, which means that the record could still go down using this glitch. However, if you try to do that, that would be really annoying. Watch the old world record by Logan, where Logan can restart anytime he wants and just try again, versus the new world record by Kyle Wade. Logan goes for way crazier and riskier strategies, and this is because Logan gets more attempts. If you want to do time trials with the glitch, you're spending a lot of time just setting up the glitch, and so you don't get a lot of practice, it's hard to get into a flow state, and of course this is day one, so there just hasn't been that many attempts done of this. I mean, I can't imagine repeatedly setting up the glitch is any fun at all. I think where the glitch record is right now is already very impressive for how annoying this setup is. It was actually Pi who brought this to my attention, who is also another world record holder, and Pi had a very interesting point. Let's not just think about Mario Kart World, what if you could somehow do this in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe with the Yoshi Circuit tires? I have mentioned this before in my 200cc world record reaction that the Yoshi circuit tires, you have to jump between them, and the tires are actually positioned randomly. And so if you could just get rid of these things, that would make the run so much better. Why is it random in the first place? I don't know. Thanks, Nintendo. This has been a crazy few weeks of Mario Kart World. 2 new glitches have been combined to get a world record time trial, and Nintendo basically admitted that some of the intermission tracks were not so good because it was just a straight line on water. Thanks for fixing some of these. And then they made Koopa Troopa Beach end in 2 laps, which basically means none of that matters because you're still just bagging for a shock dodge at the end. It's the same thing as before, it's just a longer track. And the main takeaway here is that speedrunners are crazy. Back in my day, we would just drive around the rock on Grumble Volcano, and it would count your honest, hard-earned lap. You just load up the game, and you just do it. It's skill-based, it's fair for everyone, no setup, and the replay actually shows you exactly what happened because you are not using a 5-minute-long glitch to change the environment before you start. What a bunch of cheaters. My brothers and I tell you what, we had to share one controller, so we couldn't do this little cheat anyway. Kids these days, with your 2 controllers, and you're still playing alone.